it's nice listening to this bubbling brook, water dancing. My topic is how to cope with change. And I don't mean money change, but isn't that interesting, change? But how everything changes, and you look at around me, it looks like decaying trees, as if decaying is a bad word or that's not a good thing. And what you could see is how everything, this great tree at one time had these smaller trees, like a mother, I guess. And then as the tree is so beautiful with the colors and everything now, it's always beautiful. And change is what happens. It's like people sometimes they look at their bodies and they go, oh my gosh, my body's old. So therefore, or I'm getting old, and you look in the mirror and you cry and you hate yourself and you're ugly and you know, useless, and all these things is what's really been promoted to sell. All the cosmetic kind of things that we have used in order to whatever look better for somehow. And so the change, then people fight the change. They don't like the change. First of all, you don't change. You are a constant. You are eternal. And you are always beautiful in every aspect, in every state of being, and as powerful as anyone. Because this is your nature. And to get us to think that some people are better or more, or they're special and we're not, or they are to be worshipped, and you know, it's like we have to do what they tell us to do. Who are they? Now it happens, these they people, they want to make rules for everybody, because if you've ever been one of those people, seen or even been one of those, like I have myself, I have acted from that as a controller. You don't want change. You're afraid of change. You want to make sure you control change. And it's going to happen, and even change as money, you see. Control that. And it's that control of not wanting to have any surprises in life, and wanting to maintain and make sure you get your 5 cents gratification from the physical body, and that you are really serving the mind. So who do you trust? You are the mind. And the mind is not you. And you might say you have a divine mind, but it isn't that you have a divine mind. That means when you are being fully who you are, and I'm being fully who I am, there are no thoughts about who I am. There is no thinking involved. It is a state of absolute knowing. Wisdom. You are wisdom. All wisdom is available to you. All powers and abilities are available to you. And what we think is that when maybe we get older in the body, then we're useless and we don't, but actually have more wisdom, more knowledge, and it has nothing to do with the outside physical body. And once the person really gets that, it's like you're not so concerned about what you look like. And it's that you want to be clean, you know, you're out there around other people. But I'll tell you, when I was a little girl, I lived with my great-grandmother a good deal of the time, and my great-grandfather. And they built a resort called Glacier Lodge in the Sierra Nevada mountains above Big Pine. And in that great place with all the granite, and granite stones have a lot of crystals in them as part of what they are. And it has the Palisade Glacier there. It was called the most southerly glacier in North America. Well, anyway, in living in this beautiful place and growing up in this beautiful place, it was so empowering to be in nature all the time. And to be able to, I could witness change. Just like you could see, like the seasons seem to change. And then we call some the past, and then the present and the future. So change then has to do with memory It has to do with the time game, which is a concept. You know, you have a watch and there's a calendar, but really it's non-existent. It's something we agreed to, in the sense that we are playing the time game. That's why the watch is called the watch. So you watch it. And in that watching, then you're regimenting yourself instead of trusting in your own inner guidance, sleeping when you're tired, awake when you're not, doing, you know, it's like you really don't have to do anything, actually. And because we're manifestors, it's a natural state of being. Because we are in harmony with all. And in those levels, at that level of self and beingness, we're self-effulgent and self-nurturing and actually self-satisfied and complete, because we're all satisfied in the self. And we all have then that same self. And yet we're each cells, you might say, in the original grand cell or self that we call. So the changes that are happening around, if we're judging those and saying, oh, my time is running out, your time doesn't run out. You don't play time. And they say, oh, well, you're going to waste time. You can't waste time, because that's set with birth and death, and where you're agreeing to birth and death. I call it you appear and then you disappear from whatever this reality or these relationships. That's when you lose all your stuff. Well, people that are afraid of change, they don't want to lose their stuff. They don't want to lose their body. So they got to have, you know, keep this thing going all the time, because that's all they know about, and that's the reality. And to also be able to shift their consciousness into a machine, so they can be a machine, so they can think and feel and act like they're still alive, when what they're doing is limiting themselves to the grossest, densest level of consciousness that is in the deepest of ignorance. And that is this constant state of fear. And that constant state of fear is also a constant state of envy. So when we look at what change is happening, we can actually look at what is the value of what's going on right now. And for me, if you look at all of what's being told to us and what we're, you know, going on and with ourselves, is that this is not going on with you. This is a projection. This is a creation, you see. And there's also our perception. So like in a hypnotic trance, the person agrees to give their will over to this hypnotist. They agree. And then the hypnotist, through suggestion, makes these suggestions that the person then accepts as true and real, and that's their only reality. And then they give them signals that later on they'll put them back into that, and that's how the person, that's why you can't trust your thoughts, and you never give the power of your will over to anyone else. That's also about signing agreements. We need to break agreements in the sense that we have made to torture ourselves and other humans and other living entities and animals and cows and all these beautiful beings, that it's like this, what would you say, the fear of change then is always of trying to hold on to something. This realm is like the flowing of the water. It's always changing, but it's only changing now. And to make us think there's past, present, and future takes us from our own inner self and keeps us scattered and reacting and looking in the mirror and worried about what other people are going to say about you. Well, you know what? They're going to say what's in their mind, or they're going to speak from their heart. And what happens is the person who speaks ugliness from their mind and does that is a pathetic entity and can never know the true pleasure and bliss that comes from being who we really are. And that's how you cope with change. You just watch it, but you don't identify with it, because it's only now. Just be now. Listen to the bubbling brook. It's all changing, all flowing.